Show you how once you have this design made, and remember this was done with a hand drawing, so I live traced that. We're going to do something somewhat similar, but this time when I make my 5x5 image here, and again, this is just an arbitrary size. There might be a reason why you need a certain size. So File New, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this 5x5. Illustrator is very slow tonight. When you make this one, let me show you some tricks. So if we do this on the computer, obviously you can use a pen tool and draw shapes. You can use all of these, but also something new that you may or may not be aware of. Let me show you a couple tricks here. So there's the blob brush, the paintbrush, but also the pencil tool, which is right here. So first of all, if I double click on the pencil tool, I can make it so that it's smoother or more accurate. So if I have any lumps and bumps, I can show that. But if I bring it over to smooth, like if I draw something and then my hand's kind of wiggly, it just kind of smooths it out. But that's not a very interesting shape. But check this out. I'm going to delete that for a second. So if I make something like this, right, and then I go to my stroke, and I'm going to make it pretty thick, like 14 points. Okay, I want you to look at this for a second. If I go to Outline View or Command Y, that's actually what's going to be laser cut, not the shape that you actually see there. The shape doesn't exist yet, but let me show you how to take this and turn this into a shape. It's so simple. You go to Object and Expand, and don't do the fill, just do the stroke. So I'm going to unclick fill so that I'm expanding the stroke, and now I get the shape. And so again, if I go to Command Y, view, expand, so now I have that, which is actually an editable image like that. So if I wanted to take this and play around with this and change the dimensions, I can do that. All right, so something just to be aware of. So you're going to play around with this. Other things to be aware of, do the same thing with alt type. So if I type something out like the letter A, and I don't recommend using the font Myriad Pro just because it's so thin. So I'd recommend finding another font that's maybe a little bit blockier, but hey, use what works for you and what your personal aesthetic is. I'm just making some suggestions here. Here's one I downloaded from DaFont a while ago. Anyway, the laser cutter won't recognize this unless it's also expanded. That's also not a shape. So if I go to outline, you can see it doesn't show up as an outline. Laser cutter won't recognize it. So you go back to here. And again, same deal, object expand. Everything's object expand for the most part. And I've got that. So now watch this. So we go to view, outline, or command Y. See? All right. Now, something else you need to be aware of, and I'm going to leave it at this and then just let you guys play, is if you take this shape and you put them together, the laser cutter is going to cut anywhere it has a cut line. So instead of actually reading this as, I'm going to put the A over here like this, as this, let me go to Command Y, like that. Like to us, you'd say, okay, well, you'd cut here and cut here. That's not what the laser cutter is going to do. It's going to cut through every stroke or every part of the path that it sees. So here's how you can solve this problem. Remember, there's your good old friend Shape Builder, or there's also Pathfinder, but if I just mouse down and drag, I can combine those together, okay? So you want everything to be together, and you're going to make some kind of interesting design of your choice in here using all of these different tools, all the little tricks that you know. You definitely want to play around with this and see what you can do. There's so many options here. And rather than me saying, well, do this, do that, I'd rather it come from you and it'd be something that you want to do. But let's check this out. I mean, so easy. Command Y, make that thick. And again, object, expand. I get rid of the fill. I get this. So cool. So with a little bit of know-how, you can create some really cool things, and you can repeat your designs. You can do all kinds of things. That's pretty neat, actually, just by doing that. And once I have this, right, I can take it and combine these things together, okay? So I'm going to leave you to it, and when you're done, you combine all your paths together. So again, when you go to this view, you don't see anything like that. So either use Pathfinder or Shape Builder, your choice, whatever works best for you, but make some kind of funky, cool design, and then you use the same exact process that you used earlier when you made this design, right, with the rectangle in the corner. Get that all formatted. Make sure your strokes are very, very thin. You're going to have black where it's cut and red as a reference. And from there, I will show you how to use a laser cutter and start cutting these out.